Why? Hello, my name is Sharon Cullen. Welcome to our 20th anniversary celebration video. We are on site at the 19th British Columbia Aboriginal Diabetes Conference, collecting images and stories for the 20th anniversary video. Let's hear from Annette Jensen, who will give us a brief history about the British Columbia Aboriginal Diabetes Conference.
Our first conference was so overwhelming. We didn't think we were going to get that much people, but we got over, even then we got over 300 people. And then some were still trying to come and we had to close it. Didn't start only with our band members here, around here in the surrounding area. People started coming from the coast, from the north, from back east, all across Canada. And people even started coming from down the United States to come to our conference. And as the years went on, they just kept asking us, are we going to have another one? So it became an annual.
Let's join the over 300 participants, volunteers, facilitators at the BC Aboriginal Diabetes Conference 2023.
Kalt eet skail. Why lemlem kolon choten apana is lemlem de tempura. Is lemlem de silk. Is lemlem de temech. Is lemlem kolon choten is stickles is ku iklen. Is lemlem te kolon choten is naksiltes kosquasia isedam emat ida upa. I eat klach is lemlem. Lemlem kolon choten apana is God. I thank you today, Creator, for our land and our water. I thank you for our food, for our animals. I thank you for what we have received and also be grateful for everything that you do for us, Creator. It's been a long while since I stood up here and said the prayer. I've run into some bad weather, but it's a good day today, though. And I welcome all of you. We're going to have one heck of a good day today. Lemlet kolon chut. Why?
Why Costal Cult? Why Peace Nixil? Is squeezed Siltican Ilmecum Quintels in Pinkton. Good morning, all. Welcome. On behalf of our community and our community members, we welcome you into our community. Our land we call St. Pinkton. It's always good to have these kinds of gatherings, to share your stories with one another, to renew friendships and create new ones. You know, diabetes and the other medical challenges that our communities are faced with, it's always troubling. I know that this diabetes conference has been ongoing for a number of years. And over the course of that number of years, I would expect we have lost some of our friends. And those friends will remain in our hearts forever. But over the next few days, you know, enjoy yourselves, company with one another, support one another, and look at ways you can help and support those that are experiencing challenging times.
In my heart, I believe, and I know Grace and her mom and her family are examples of this, that education is the language of reconciliation. Education has always been the bright shining light in our lives. Not only the education offered by public school institutions, but our own education, traditional teachings, traditional learnings. You can always tell when you see a young person up here, and when they finish their remarks, you say to yourself, he had good teachings or she had good teachings. And that makes my heart very, very happy. I haven't been here in this room at this conference for about years. Probably about 15 years. And I feel bad about that, because every year I start getting emails and texts, and every year there's an empty chair here. But thank goodness for Joan. She got up and she said, we're going. And so here I am. And Grace got on me as soon as I came through the door. And she made me promise to come for the 20th celebration, which I said, yes, of course I'll be there. So I want to congratulate all of you that have worked so hard over the years to keep this going. And every time I've been in this room, it's been jam-packed with our people, with our helpers. And many of you I've known for a long, long time. And you look amazing. And I'm glad you're still with us. And you're still leaders. Doesn't matter how old we get.
Our conference goals are to increase awareness and knowledge for health promotion, prevention, and complications associated with diabetes, provide an atmosphere to network, share, and liaison among healthcare workers to promote and support healthy lifestyles. Promote healthy, appropriate education for people with diabetes, their support persons, and community healthcare workers. Let's meet some of the participants who will share their health journey with diabetes. When you sing, what are you singing or praying for, or do you have an intent when you start your drumming?
Well, every song I do, like they all have some type of meaning, done for different reasons, and every song I do is like an honor song. And some of the songs I do are specifically like when I do the heartbeat, that's the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and that's when people are going through a rough time. And then there's another song I do that's called the healing song. And then there's another song I do called the medicine song. Like whenever I go to funerals, or even when I come to a function like this, I will do those songs. And I enjoy drumming. Like I went to residential school, so I never knew how to drum. I never knew how to make a drum. And then I left, joined the Army, and I was away for 26 years. In 2009, I moved back to Lytton. And that's where I learned how to make a drum, and I learned how to sing songs. So on my drum, I actually have a PPCLI, which is Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. I served for 9.5 years. And I've been coming to the Diabetic Conference this is my 5th time. Like at one time, you look at me now, but I was actually almost 300 pounds. And became diabetic, almost went into coma. And when I was in the hospital in Kamloops, one of my grandfathers came to me in like a vision, and he was talking to me about how, as a little boy, you never did this stuff, but now it's like he's telling me in my dream, he talked to me in my language, and he said I have to do this for the people.
So I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2008. A few years after that, I actually heard about this conference. I heard about the initiative and I heard about the conference. So for over 10 years, I've been trying to actually get into this conference. It is very popular. So this is my first time I was actually able to get in. About a week before, I was asked if I was able to step in and MC. So I said, sure, why not? I think that being my first experience here has been amazing. The people that I have met, the workshops that were put on, I've heard really good things. I think there was a good variety for people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, different age groups, different abilities. A lot of wellness is addressed. You're definitely in a safe space to have fun, to learn, to grow, and having that relational feeling with everybody here. So that's why I love being here.
So this is UBC's first time at this conference, and it's been a great experience. We've been doing A1C testing for lots of people who want to get their blood glucose tested. We also had a booth and got to talk to lots of wonderful people, and it's been a really great experience to provide a service that not everyone always has access to meet lots of people, hear their stories, and just see what a great job the organizing committee does to provide information about type 2 diabetes and see what an amazing community has been built here.
So as a person from Turkey, I am from the other part of the world. It is my first time, and I had a great experience seeing how Indigenous culture looks like and how it is nice to have a conversation with them, because we were doing A1C screening here, but we heard about their stories and their life, and I'm so happy that I met so many lovely people. And I also learned that sense of humor is really a huge part of your culture, and I love it.
This is actually my first time to be here as a helper. I'm one of the roaming counselors, and I did a workshop called Who Am I? And this was an experience like I've never had before. And the information that I got from the different speakers in the workshops were awesome, because of all learning about diabetes and things that you can do to prevent. And that's what I was here for.
One thing that I liked to say is that I miss quite a few that aren't here. This COVID has taken a lot of our people, and I noticed that in the crowds that there are a lot of people missing. And I inquired about them to see if they just didn't make it. A lot of them just not around anymore. So one thing I'd like you to take with you is, from my heart, is look after your health and your families. This diabetes is real, and it will take a part of your life and your family if you don't look after it.
First off, the people here at the conference taught me so much. They taught me about some of the things that happen to them in residential schools and how that impacts the way that they eat today. And so that was a real learning for me, because, you know, it's just all bright and shiny, and I came in and said, here's what you can do. And they were like, well, just a second, just a minute here. Here's some things that I've experienced and that I've lived. And those things make it challenging for me to do what you're saying. And so I've had to incorporate those learnings about people's lives impact their food choices in many, many different ways. And so for a lot of Indigenous people, residential schools was a key factor in food choice. And so it allowed us to talk about both how to deal with that and sometimes how we can celebrate food to leave it behind.
I'm privileged to say that I've been working with some very nice people, very dedicated people. And in the last 20 years that I've been with the conference, I've met a lot of beautiful people. Reserved, but all very enthusiastic once you get them going. And that was the whole idea of my workshops, to get people involved and relax and join their energies and learn something. And so I sort of geared the workshops I made to have a learning experience at the same time as having fun. And the whole idea was to learn to prevent getting diabetes. It's the only really treatment that works, is preventing it. And that's been my focus, to hammer it in, basically, to keep taking care of yourself. Don't give up. It's a marathon. It's not a race. We're in here for the long run. And if you have diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, you really have to focus on getting your health back, because the disease is really devastating. So it was always fun to work with people, fun to see them in the pool, a little bit uncomfortable at first, but then once they get going with the exercises, they get more and more enthusiastic.
We've been coming here for about approximately 10 years, and we're invited because of our cultural beliefs, traditional beliefs. We bring with us knowledge of plants on how to, help yourselves, empower yourselves, treating your illnesses with our own traditional medicines and beliefs and spirituality. Coming to these, the Diabetes Conference really has allowed us to see more resources out there to share back with the people that we work with, and also better use of the medicines on how to treat some of the diabetes issues.
Last few years coming to the diabetes, I've seen a lot of miracles. A lot of people are looking after themselves. And it's a great information package, what everybody's been doing for coming up to 20 years, 19 years. Diabetes is very complex. If you don't look after it, then you start losing your own being, your own limbs and stuff like that. And I've seen that in my learn, but it's been a blast. and I'll see you guys next year on the 20th year, and we'll do something special. But I thank you and all your whole crew and all the ones that came through that made this possible.
Let's join Dr. Rosalind Miles, a long-term facilitator, with her welcome back presentation.
I just really want to acknowledge everyone coming back here. It's just been amazing to see so many great faces, so many great changes. You know, there's some people are elders, and some people have really made changes in their healthy lifestyle, and this is a place for us to gather. It's a culturally safe space, and so I just really want to say it's so great to see everyone's faces. When I came into the room, I saw people from my community. I saw our elders, I saw my cousin, I saw many people. I saw a woman who went to school with my dad in St. George's Residential School, and I was embraced, and it felt good because I felt like I belonged here, and I felt safe, and I realized then that my presentation had to go out the window, and then I had to change my focus to be community-centered and strength-based. And really having a positive message around, we are leaders in holistic health and wellness, you know, and it's tied to culture and traditions, and to really think about who I am and why this is important to me. And my father had diabetes, and my whole life I had this fear that I'm going to have diabetes, and really sending that message to our elders, like my grandmother, she was, you know, sacred. She had a beautiful home, and she welcomed everybody, and she'd always, you know, invite people to come in, and she provided food, and she provided a safe space, and it was so wonderful to be part of that. And I wanted to create that same feeling here. And it naturally already happened, you know, with the people who work here, the people who run it. The spirit of this event is so powerful that you feel like you belong. And it's a place where it's unconditional. And so I've completely transformed since I came 15 years ago to be this person who wants to acknowledge our ties that we have for time immemorial been practicing living off the land. You know, harvesting our food, fishing and hunting are the best ways to be physically active with our families. It's not about going to the gym or counting steps. And when I'm here in this room, I see that with our people. We come together. Everyone goes through all the events. Everyone's energetic. They're engaged. And I love being part of it.
Participants learned a lot, had lots of fun, reconnected with old friends, and are taking information and their own experience to share in their home communities. Let's join the closing ceremony.
I hope I can hold it together. I would like to honor these women behind me. Sharon Cullen from Okanagan Indian Band, Lois McNary, Métis, Grace Grey Eyes from Penticton, Annette Jensen from Adams Lake, and Rita Gallagher from Osoyoos. And as someone mentioned a bit earlier, Rose Lube is from Westbank, is not able to be with us today. These women are my backbone. These women have guided me and provided this opportunity for all of us. And I'm honored to have been able to work with people for 19 years. Let's have a round of applause for this team, guys.
The song that I'm going to sing to send the flags out is the international song from the AIM movement.
Oh,
of Sandy Burge's original goal was to build capacity in our nations, and this has certainly happened. The Conference Planning Committee has excelled at hosting a conference that has been attended by nations from almost every province and territory. We would like to acknowledge our partners, funders, and communities who have supported us for the past 20 years. The Diabetes Committee would like to give you hope for prevention, care, and management of diabetes for yourself, families, and communities. We are honored to do this work with you.